Okay, so it's 2:05. I guess you can start.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So, welcome to Product Hub Bootcamp 2.0. So, officially welcome you guys to developer relations. So, I'll be sharing my screen very soon, so you can see what else.
Hi.
Hello, good afternoon once again. Just to be clear, my voice audible enough?
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
Yes, it's me.
Whenever you can't hear me, just let me know. Okay? Okay, please, whenever you can't hear me, just let me know. Maybe from the chat box or something, where I can maybe go back to what I was saying. So you're welcome to developer relation class, and I want to let me start from introduction. My name is Adewale, and I'm a software engineer, and I will be your facilitator for this track. So before we go ahead to the main stuff, I'm sure I don't know if many of you guys chose this track because it felt like, oh, I will not code. I don't have to write codes. I don't have to learn how to code. I don't know if there's anyone yet who probably chose this track because of that kind of mentality, but I'm sorry to disappoint you because not as much as um, this track, developer relations, is more of um, trying to help developers, software developers. You can only help a software developer if you actually know what he or she is going through, or he or she is typing or coding. So this track, basically, you are not going to be coding every time, but not as much as you're not going to code. You have to know, have an idea of what a software developer is doing, a software engineer is doing. You have to have an idea of what is going on in their head, how their thinking process. So with that in place, so basically, I only define developer relations as a bridge, a gap between a software engineer and and a tech company. Let's say, for instance, Google. Google is a company that produces products, software engineers. So now a developer relation bridge that connects Google to the developers that use their products. Hello, please, can you hear me?
yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, yes, I can hear you.
So, like I said, Tech, like I said earlier on, before you can assist software developer, before you can meet their needs, you obviously have to know what they are, be a full-time writing code and the likes. But then you have to know their thinking process, their needs. You're like an helper to them and trying to make their work easier. So like I wrote in my notes, a developer relation is a process of nurturing mutually beneficial relationship between organizations and software developers. So it involves collection of strategies, tactics, and just to help companies to work better together with software engineers. As a software engineer myself, I've, I've had to go through so many issues where maybe a new product comes out now, and I'm trying to learn how to use this product. And maybe I just go to randomly on Google. And let's say for instance, I'm trying to learn how to use React router now. And I just type it on Google. And probably I'll click on the first link that appears. So I'll try to understand how does this product, this tool work. Try to read the blog or the post, whatever it is. And many times I might not really understand what whoever wrote the blog is trying to say. I don't know if you understand me. So many times developers, we are always trying to get the best platform, the best documentation. In fact, for instance, like Google, for instance, when they release a new product, they write documentation, they write how the product should be used. Because even as that, developers still find it difficult to comprehend. So there's this bridge where these tech companies are trying to eliminate this bridge where just to communicate properly to these developers. So that's where you guys come. That's where the developer relation engineer comes in. They are trying to bridge the gap between the tech companies and the software engineer, trying to make it easier for them to communicate. So that when I read their documentation or their blog, whatever it is that posted, whether on Twitter or on whichever platform, on blog or their company website, I grab what they are trying to communicate. So that is also like from my screen, you can see a developer relation engineer is also a developer evangelist. It's also a developer advocate. It's also a developer expert and a developer marketer. So like you are a 4-in-1. You, it's a lot. It looks easy, but it's a very important profession that can make what they call it, a community to use your product, and it can also make a community to stop using your product. Okay, so that's that. So let me go to my next slide. So in this week one, so we'll be covering this following outline. We'll look at understanding the role of a developer relation. We'll look at the importance of developer relation in tech companies. They'll look at their key responsibilities. Then we look at staying current with industry strength. Then developing proficiency in sorry, so we look at developing proficiency in relevant technology, and we also look at effective communication.
Please, are you still talking? Because we can hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Hello?
Yes.
Hi.
Hello?
Yeah. Hello. You were talking, but like actually we can hear you.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Can anyone hear me?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello?
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
I can hear you.
Oh, hello? Can you hear me now? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, so where did you stop? At what point did I stop communicating?
Yeah, it's on the slide 2 after announcing the point how we are going to cover. Yeah, effective communication.
Oh, okay. But can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. All right. So, like I said, a developer relation engineer is a relation profession, is bridging the gap between tech companies and developers. So, as you can see from this flow diagram, this part is showing platform, product, and engineering, and this other end is showing third-party developers. Then we have a developer relation in between. So a developer relation is the middleman. Is the one that will create awareness. Is the one that will create inspiration. Is the one that will create resources for developers. Is the one that gives feedback back to the companies. Oh, this product you release is not so clear. There are some issues. The developers are having some bugs that needs to be fixed. Is the one that gives sentiment. Do you get? So is the developer relation engineer is very, very important. I think far back 2017, that's when the popularity started coming in. Earlier on, there was no developer relation engineer. It just communication between developers and tech companies. But now, I think from 2017, most especially during COVID, that was when it gained more popularity, because these companies, they need someone to communicate better to software developers. So I'm sure this flow diagram is clear enough. So you can see from here, the developer relation engineer communicates to both the company and the developers. So if they're having issues with the product this tech company release, they will feedback to the company. And also, if there's an update of a product that was developed by a company, they relay back to developers through blog posts, through social media or websites, or even Twitter. That's why it's always very important as a developer relation engineer to know where your audience, where they hang out, like which platform do they use predominantly. So that's very, very important. So let's go to the next slide. Okay, even though I've said it earlier on, so I still came and said, what is a developer relation? So earlier said, it helps developers understand technology. Every day, new technologies are being released. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Okay. So, like I said, new technologies are being released every day from these tech companies. New tools are being released. So now the work of a developer relation engineer is to make these tools, is to make developers to understand these tools through means of how they communicate it to developers. Because me as a software engineer now, I might just develop a tool, but I might not necessarily know how to communicate this tool to help others really understand what this tool, the work it does. Do you understand? So now, a developer relation will probably take the effort to understand. That's why I said you cannot just zero out learning how to code or understanding code itself. It makes you a better developer relation engineer. So let's say me as a developer engineer now, I will take the effort to learn how a code works, what the code is trying to solve, and what it's trying to solve basically. Then I will now interpret it better to the community of developers out there, so they can grasp it and make use of it. Because definitely, if a company should hire you as a developer relation engineer, they want you to make their products get more publicity. They want you to make their products get used more. Basically, they want you to make more money for them, because the more people use their products, the more they make money. So you, as a developer relation engineer, your work is to make these products, what is communicate this product to this community of developers easily and readily accessible, so they can use this product. Let me give you an instance. There's this product then, when I was learning how to code, there was two products that could do the same thing. I think that one was what do you call this? One was what do you call? I've forgotten this thing. Something React context, and the other one I shouldn't have forgotten. So they could do the same thing, and you read some blogs where they'll tell you that, oh, okay, one was more difficult than the other, and you can easily grab one and like learn it within few minutes and implement it in your code. While the other one takes more time to understand, to grab and use. But now you go to some blogs and they'll tell you that what makes you a standout developer is by using the difficult one. You get, and you go to some blogs and tell you that why stress yourself to learn difficult one when you can learn this one and you can implement it and it works the same way as the other one. Now can you see this is a whoever created this content, they are developer relation engineers. So everyone is trying to make their product to be used. I try to tell you that, oh, this is code. This one will do what this one is doing. Why waste too much time trying to learn how to use this one when you can easily use this one? So this is just what the developer relation is. You're working with a company hire you to make their products gain more publicity, get more used. So your everyday needs, your main work is you are trying to help developer. Like that is basically what you are trying to do. You're trying to help your audience. Maybe it can be a developer relation for other products. It doesn't have to be for programmers. Maybe for people that do UI, UX, people that do some other tech related skills. And so you want people to use your company's products. And also, the only way people can use your company's product is if they enjoy using it, if they understand it. That is me. I'm talking from a developer point of view. I will not use any product that is stressing me or anything that I cannot grab. And whatever, or maybe I'm having bugs. So that's just it. So the second point here says developer relation combines engineering, community management, and marketing. Like I said, you work hand in hand with the marketing team. You work hand in hand with the community. You probably be the one to manage community management. So this is all what, like I said, you learn how to code, you create content, and you take and pass it on to your community. So you over time, as a developer relation engineer, you create a community. You know where your audience are, whether it's Twitter, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's Instagram, whether you are not, there is no barrier to how you can pass your message. Can be TikTok, can be Facebook, can be Twitter, it can be blogs, can have your own personal blogs, what have you. So I said a developer relation is vital for product design for developers. So if I own a tech company now and I want to create a product, fine, I've done the coding, blah blah blah. I need a developer relation to express, to teach people or to communicate, not teach per se, to communicate what my product is trying to do. So now that's why I said, as a developer relation engineer, you still have to know, like have a knowledge of what your company does, have a knowledge of what your product is doing. And you can only know that if you have a bit knowledge about coding. It will really help it make you stand up as a developer relation engineer. Okay, this content looks similar, but then this my plan today was to just make today big kind of introduction so you can know what and how you will be doing as a developer relation engineer. So I said the role of a developer relation engineer is to create technical content, conference presentations. In fact, before the whole everyone is trying to create content, before developer, they create conferences, they organize conferences, they create events, and they invite developers. It's one of the easiest ways to put your product out there. Like you create as physical conferences and you put it out there, then developers will come, then you announce or you teach them or you do a very interactive presentation of how the product work. So a developer relation engineer, you, um, you create technical content, you organize conference presentations, you have a community engagement, you engage your community, you get feedback. Like I showed us in the earlier slide, you get feedback from your audience. You get to know, okay, this product you have been using for a year, what are the pros and cons? What are the difficulties you're having from the product and what have you? Then you create document and guides. This is part that is similar to creating content, and you create document and guides. Me, for instance, if I want to learn anything, what the first thing I do is I read the documentation. Sometimes documentation is not always enough. I'm still getting confused. I probably go to YouTube, then I go to YouTube. So as a developer relation engineer, also you create content on YouTube. I go to YouTube, I go to Twitter, I go to what have you, just to get better understanding. Then most times developers have a particular blog or a platform that they'll tell you that, oh guy, this particular website or blog, they have good content. I don't know if you have heard that from people. They tell you that, oh, this particular blog site, they have good content. That content, you will definitely grab it. It's very simple. They make their documentation very easy to understand. So because your work is to help not just developers, new developers. Maybe someone just wake up one day and oh, I want to become a tech person. I want to go into tech. I want to learn programming. So they will look out for content online. They want to read our blog. So your work is to make this content you're creating, this documentation, easy to understand for at least for if not for everyone, for the average and maybe for the larger percentage of your audience. So like I said, in this picture that you're seeing here, so under community, you can see you organize events, you can do live streams, it can be Discord, it can be Slack, then you get feedback from your users. So you create content by writing blogs, making videos, you are doing courses. You can be on Udemy, on Coursera, or you can have your own platform where people can come and take a course or what have you. Then you have coding examples. This is very important. Like I said, so when you are bringing out a new product, you are giving them coding examples on how to get it started, how to use it exactly. Because if I don't know how to use it, I'm sorry, I'm going to log out, find something else, to find another product. Or if on your blog you teach me how to get started with this product, maybe I need to install a library, maybe I need to like word to word coding. This is what I need to input first. This is what I need to input first. This is the code. I'll give you an instance of a documentation. I'll share my screen now so you can see how this developer relations engineer, how they make things easy for developers. Most if I I will show you a blog where they will tell you how to get started. Let's say for instance, if you want to learn how to use React now, you go to their website, they'll tell you getting started with React. That click on npm, create nx, blah blah blah. Click. In fact, they'll give you a room where you can copy the code and paste in your VS Code, your virtual studio. So it makes the user experience very swift and nice. So that's just what this part is saying. Other products, coding examples and starters, working on integration and improving the overall DX. Okay, so now let's go to if I miss anything. Okay, I'm trying to see if I don't miss any parts. Okay, let me dwell more on this part. Let me just add why a developer relation is so important. I don't know if that you're taking points. So from my according to what I wrote down for you guys. So I've said this before. The roles of a dev, that's developer relation, to create content. So you engage in public speaking and workshops. Then you engage in community engagement. Then this part I didn't mention is internal advocacy. So internal advocacy involves you relate back to the company you're working for. You advise them like because obviously you have an understanding of this code. So you can actually help them. You can help them by the people creating this product, they are also developers. So it's like a developer and a developer, then the developer relation engineer is in the middle. So you can relate back to the company you're working for and speak to their developers on what to think, how they can modify or what they call it, integrate or make their products much better to use. So that's what this internal, I didn't add it to the point, but I'll probably share lesson notes later on. So internal advocacy is very important. Then I think I mentioned this on developer programs and initiatives. So under this developer program and initiative involves what do you call it? Hackathons. So you see people, all these if you go online, you see many hackathons online. Then it's also we have initiatives to incentivize and recognize community contribution and to strengthen basically the developer ecosystem. So that's that. So I also want to make you understand why a developer relation engineer is so important, or why is developer relation important. So it's, like I said earlier, it's improved product adoption. When you communicate your products much better, people tend to adopt to it because developers talk to each other. Last time I met a friend of mine, I was like, like this new product I'm using, and it makes sense. You can also use it. So it makes it improves the product adoption. That's developer relations. Then it enhances user experience because now you have a first-hand communication with these developers. They are giving you feedback. Then it makes it creates a stronger brand loyalty. People tend to stay with your product and they tend to even tell their friends, oh, this guy can use this product, it's nice. Then another important point is faster innovation. And when you have a developer relation, people tend to easily jump and use your products. It's easier for people to start using your products. Then it expands your ecosystem. As a developer relation, because you're constantly engaging your community, so you get more people to use your products. Then you get valuable feedback. Then you increase visibility. Then this is very important because I said you're working hand in hand with marketing team. So it creates a kind of cost-effective marketing because now your marketing is streamlined to what needs to be done, not just creating content for content's sake. Now you're creating content based on feedback, based on the need of a developer. Then that is that. So the next point is content strategy as a developer relation engineer. So I wrote down a short note. I said, your goal as a developer advocate is not to produce more content than a competitor or a colleague. Your main goal is to get the right content to the right user. You can underline right content and right user at the right time. So you're not trying to compete with any developer relation engineer. I've created 10 content in a week, or I've created 100 content in a week. It's not about how much content. I've seen a website where all their content is rubbish. And I've seen one where they only have about one content or two content, and I stick to it. So it's about, your goal is to get the right content to the right user at the right time. So you cannot dish out a product without a documentation. Let's say after like 6 months, you now release a documentation. That is the wrong time. But then I already make my conclusion about the product, whether I want to use it or not. So when you are creating content, you are creating content for the right users. You are making them know, okay, this is content is for people. Maybe it's for a front-end developer, for a back-end developer, it's for UI, UX. So it starts to be for the right user and at the right time. So so what is content strategy? I want to ask. So content strategy is basically planning for creation, delivery, and governance of useful and usable content. So content strategies, you're planning for creation. You're not just creating for creating sake. There's a planning involved before you create your content. You are planning for creation, you are planning for delivery. Delivery in the sense that how, how do you communicate this product to your audience? Then governance itself. So we're looking at them. So what I wrote down is make decisions. You must understand the developer needs. Your work is basically to help developers. Once you are like, shall I say, help meet for developers, you're trying to make them use a product. And the only way they can use a product if they understand how a product works. So before you can create content for them, you must understand their needs, what they are trying to achieve. Then you collaborate with mentors and community. You have a community of people that, oh, this new product, what do you think about it? Then ongoing process for relevant content. So let me just go through what I have in my notes. Like I said, I talked about creation, delivery, and governance. So under creation, before you can create a content, so there are some points that you have to know or note. First one is what are we creating? What are we trying to create? What are we creating? Then second point is, who are we creating for? So are we creating, like, you have a specific audience, people on the other side. So you have to have this one in mind. Then third point is, what are their problems and pain points? Like I said, technologies are being released every day, and each technology is trying to solve a problem that a developer have encountered. When they release, I don't know if you heard of Next.js. Next.js was to help developers because with Next.js, the transition from pages is even more swifter than when you work with just basically React. So that's a problem they're trying to solve there. So now you understand their problems and their pain points before you cannot create content or even have a kind of or advice on a product. Like I said, you are in constant communication with both the company that hire you and the developer, your community. Okay, so also another point you note is what are the attributes of this type of content? So like what does this content evolves? What are the attributes? Then you have to note the processes that needs to be in place to support the content creation. You can't just create content when the content, the product itself is not even ready. You don't create content when everything is not done. Okay, someone said there's a need. I see why we need to familiarize the coding. Yeah, of course, you need to know about coding. May not be coding every day, but before you can help someone that code, you must understand how they think, their thought process. So so there's this this diagram I'm seeing here, what they call itself, pie whatever, pie chart or so. So you can see a dev. I put the strategy in between. So you must, before you can create content, you must know the company strategy, you must know the developer needs and what you are good at. So that is under creation. So now let's go to delivery. Like I said, delivery is the way you communicate this content that you have created to your audience. So there's certain points you must also note and before you can deliver a good content. So the first one is where will this content live? Like where do you plan to drop this content? Or let me see, where with this content, where like maybe where do you plan to publish the content? Is it on Twitter? I can tell you for a fact, most developers are on Twitter. Is it on TikTok? Is it on blogs, normal blogs? Is it on Facebook, Instagram, or what have you? So you must know where the content will be, because of course you know where your audience are. You can't just go and post a content where people that are trying to communicate with, they are not even using. So that's why you must know where your contents are. Also, another point is which format will your content be in? Format in the sense that is it a video content? Is it a text? Is it animation? And the format you plan to communicate this product to people in the best way that they can understand. Also, the next point is, so at what point in the user journey do they see the content? This one is very important. You cannot create a content without making emphasis on, oh, this content is for an experienced software engineer or a junior web developer. So if I go to a content and I see something like, oh, this content for someone without no prior experience to coding, then I jump at it because okay, then say I don't have a prior experience to coding. But if I see a content where they say, oh, this content is someone that has an average experience of coding. Me, if I know that I don't have an average experience, then I go to another content. Do you understand? So it makes your content, it makes have a good user feedback because they don't come back and tell you that, oh, but you said it's easy, but then I don't even understand what is React. That's because it's for people that already have an average knowledge of programming that you are creating content for. Then also we have what channel will be used to promote the content. So this is similar to the first one. So channel to create the content, whether it's whether it's YouTube, whether it's LinkedIn, and what have you. Then this last point, also similar. So I said, where does your audience hang out? So I use the word hang out, like, developer has their own Slack. Some they have different communities. So you know where to publish your content, where they can easily see them, whether it's on Twitter, wikis on some hashtags, blah blah blah. You must know where your audience are. Okay. You can do a survey, people that are learning tech. If the content is for a junior developer, where are junior developers checking the most? I'm sure a junior developer will check to Twitter more than Slack. You could probably just getting used to Slack. So you have to know where your audience hang out more. Also, let me just cut this in. I'm sure everyone here has a LinkedIn account. So maybe after this class, you can go to your LinkedIn, and because this work involves publicity, so you can go ahead and add a junior relation engineer to your profile, because right now you're having an internship with Product Hub Africa. So they start giving you content. LinkedIn optimization algorithm works in a way that starts giving you content on things about developer relations. So after the class, you can go ahead and add a junior developer relation engineer to your profile. Because this work, let me just chip this in, is a work that someone that starts today, or aside from the fact that you have to learn how to code, how to understand code, is a work that someone with passion and empathy can easily be a very good developer relation engineer, like someone with the passion that he wants people to grab what is he or she's trying to communicate. So there is no time frame from when you become an expert. And the good thing is, not unlike before, where companies don't hire a developer relation engineer. Right now, I've seen companies where they want to hire a junior developer relation engineer, like a junior. So you can learn, so it's good for you to start putting yourself out there. Okay, so that's that. Last point like I said, content strategy involves creation, delivery, and governance. So governance is basically like the points you have to note. So what is your plan for maintaining the piece of content? How do you plan to maintain it? What's a long-term plan? This content I've created. Because if I create a product now, obviously that's not the end. I'm still working on some tools or some product or some integration, trying to make it better. So as the product is being upgraded from the tech company, you yourself, you have to keep updating, updating it, updating your content or your documentation or your guide or your blog. And that point is, what do we do with content that is out of date? So you have to know that, okay, when a content is out of date, people probably created a product, a content about React Router, but your company has created a new product that solves the same issue and is better. So you have to know, like, do you take it down? Do you take it down? Because obviously there are people that are already using that same product, React Router. So do you tell them that, okay, in as much as this product is still very good, you can also try this out? Like, you have to know what to do when the content is out of date. Do you just take it down? I'm like, oh, sorry, this product, we have a new updated product on this on React Router, and this product has been removed, stuff like that, which is very important. So you must have a style. You don't just start today and maybe you're creating content using cartoons. Then the next content you are using something else. So you must have a style of how you want to communicate your content. You must have so even if you are no more working with the company, whoever the company hires can continue in that style. So you must have a style. These are under governance. must have a style or a brand in all your content. So when people even see your content out there, they can easily know, no, this is for Google, this is for Facebook, this is for whatever. So I hope you get that. So class supposed to be so still on introduction. So the next slide says, how do you stay current with industry trends? Which is very important. Like you cannot be creating content that was existing in 2021. No, sorry, 2020. No, 2017. Let me use that one. You cannot be creating content that people have moved on. Do you get? Developers are always looking for something better. Like me, I speak for myself. I'm always looking for something better to use, something much easier. So you must stay current with industry trends. The moment you see that Facebook have released a new product, like you sharply, you are more proactive. Like you go online, you go to Facebook, read their documentation, try to understand the problem Facebook is trying to solve or Google is trying to solve. Then you create content. You can even tell your audience to anticipate your documentation on this particular product that was released by product. You can be the one to even let developers know about a new product. That's been very proactive. So you must stay current with trends. You must stay current with what is going on in the tech industry. You can use Twitter for this. With Twitter you can do some algorithm on your Twitter page that will always give you first time news like latest on tech product or tech whatever. So I said under staying current with industry trends, you have to monitor technological advancement. I've explained that. You have to track industry news and innovations. So you must always be the first to know. If you're not the first to know, you should be the second to know. A developer should be the one telling you that I feel about the new product. Like that's like you not knowing your work, knowing about your work. So you must attend conferences. When Google is creating a conference on the product, you should attend. Most of all these conferences are even free, whether it's online or physical. Like you attend, you network with people, with developers, and with your co-fellow developer relation engineer. So you attend conferences, you attend meetups, then you keep learning. There's no um, end point to this particular track or field of this tech field. It's something that they evolve continually, they evolve continually. So that's how you can stay current with industry trends. You attend conferences, meetups. On LinkedIn, there are a lot of meetups, um, lot of meetups of events. You can also modify your LinkedIn algorithm to always notify you of tech meetups, tech conferences, and what have you. So they always bring it to you and they'll, oh, join this meetup. It's something about this, that. So you're always informed. So because when you're better informed, you can create content even before like I said, you're trying to make money for the company that hires you. And also you're trying to help developers. So you're working hand in hand with the marketing team. If I must understand, a developer relation engineer is part of the marketing team. So you must make people to easily know about a product. You guys must make people to easily know about a product. So let me explain this better for you. Let me tell you how it's very important. So if you're working for a microfinance company, not microfinance, all these fintech companies. Now, let's say Google release a product that could help fintech companies better. So this is what you do. as a developer relation engineer, you know about this product. So, like I said, there's what they call internal advocacy. So you go back to your company, tell them about this product that Google has released to help fintech companies work better. So they know how to implement this product into their own code system. So now your content will not be like, oh, this product that Google released, this is how you can use it in your own company. I don't know if I'm communicating. Google released a product. Your company is a fintech company that will benefit from that product. So now your company is very proactive and they've quickly jump ahead to implement this product in their fintech. But how do your users know? You can only know if you are also proactive by creating content on that and tell them why your fintech is better to use because of this product. They all go hand in hand. So that's why you must stay current with trends. Okay. You're almost done with the class. So also we have developing proficiency in relevant technology. Like I said, if you join the class because you thought there is no thing like coding, well, you're wrong, because for you to make a good developer relation engineer, you must actually have an understanding of how this code system, or let's say JavaScript, for instance, or React, for instance. You're not going to be coding every day, but then you must actually understand how it works. So I said there is okay, I said mastering a technology stack. Okay, you don't have to master actually. They must have an hands-on experience. You should be able to, obviously you have a VS Code on your system. You should be able to try this thing out and see that is it easy to grab? What I just explained right now, can I read my blog and actually follow my blog and get to use this product? So you must have troubleshooting and debugging skills and knowledge of developer tools and resources. This is very important. We'll be dwelling more of all these points as we go on in the track. This is just a kind of introductory class for us to get, so you can know that this thing is work. It's not beans. So you have effective communication of technical concepts, which is part of our outline. So must have said everything here in between my talks. So there should be an effective communication of technical concepts. Because, like I said, many developers, they can just code. They don't even understand shit. They don't know how to communicate. They can code fine. They can code for you anything, but they don't know how to communicate themselves to their audience. So this is where you come in. You come in to bridge the gap. So now you interpret what the developer is trying to say. And the only way you can interpret what he's trying to say is if you have a basic knowledge, at least. So now, sorry for that. So there should be an effective communication of technical concepts. So I said translating complex ideas for non-technical audience. So you should have, for you to be a very good developer relation designer, you have the ability to translate complex ideas. And I can tell you there are so many resources online that can help you to do that, to translate these complex ideas to make it easier for everyone to understand. So you must create clear and engaging technical content. Let your content be clear and direct. Don't beat about the bush. You don't know how much content you create. It's about how clear it is. Can be one-line content. Maybe do this, do this, do this. In fact, I will jump at that. If I see content like that, I won't go for the one that is cracking my head. So you must create clear and engaging technical content. Then this is very important. So every of your content must be tailored to developer needs. Like I said, your work is to make you're getting feedback from developers. You're trying to solve their problem, their pains, whatever it is they are going through. So your content is tailored to communicate effectively to the needs of this developer. Then over time, when these three are being done properly, then you are building credibility and trust. Over time, people tend to trust your content, your blog, or what have you. So you are building an ecosystem. So now when you have anything, just go to your ecosystem, your audience, and just get easier because they know that okay, your content are real, they are original, they are valid, they are easy to grab. So it gives you this trust and credibility. Okay, I think like I said, this class is just to get to know what we'll be doing for this track. I don't know if I've done justice to that. So just to recap on everything we've done, we've talked about the role, definition, the importance, the key responsibilities, then talked about staying informed and skill development. Yeah, you need to, if you're not a good writer, you must become a good writer. If you don't have empathy for people, because you are constantly communicating with people, so you must have this empathy for people to learn, for people to learn something. Yeah, you have this passion. Oh, I really want them to grab it. That's the only way you can be able to create content for them. So you must be a good technical writer, a good communicator. And I don't know if you're an introvert, I don't know how maybe you have to really leave your shell because it involves you going out, attending conferences, networking and meetups and the like. So you cannot be a shy person and same time be an effective developer relation engineer. So, but that's what we discuss about today's class, and I hope we have a good understanding of what to expect from this track now. So, does anyone have any question? And before we call the class to an end, if you have any question, if you have any question, okay, go ahead. Dogovi. I don't know if I got your pronunciation well.
It's
Go
Jeffrey.
ahead.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can.
Okay. Thank you so much for this presentation. And yeah, I think I got many things inside, but I do have some questions. Like the first one, if we don't know how to code, is it possible to work at a dev rel? Because there is some part you said to like understand the work or the documentation or maybe a language. Let's take example of the Next.js and they wrote the documentation and you are in developer relation at Next.js and like how can we understand this part, because maybe we should have the communication to do, the strategies to plan, and we have other stuff to do. Like, do we have really time to learn the coding or their stuff to move forward and like make a good presentation of
Okay.
something? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now, thank you for the question. So the thing is that, like I said, you guys right now you're all junior developer relation engineers. So it's something that can come. It can come naturally to you. Yes, you must make extra effort to learn. Like when I say learn, you don't have to learn like go. Oh, I want to start learning HTML I'll start learning how to CSS and the likes. But then you can start from reading blogs yourself. Like you are working with developers, you know, whatever company you're working with developers. Developers who create the product, you also to communicate the product to your end users, which are also developers. So now, when they release this product, you meet them and like, okay, please, how does this product work? So they are trying to teach you this product yourself. You have a VS Code in your system. You you don't have to learn to code to start this field of track, to be honest. But it makes you a better one, a more effective developer relation compared to your peers. Do you get someone who is very good at communicating? Someone who's very good at communicating or writing can easily be a very good developer relation, and they have just basic knowledge of code. So it's just about you testing and don't just release a product or release a content that you yourself don't understand. You cannot come and teach people out there how a tool work, and you actually do not understand it. So how do you understand this product or this tool that has been released by your company? It's by you yourself using it, like putting it on your VS Code and okay, this is what it does, this is what it gets, putting in time to understand it. So when people give you feedback, even without reaching out to the developers, you can easily answer them. Do you get? So it gives you a upper hand, it makes you an effective developer relation engineer if you have this basic understanding of how software engineering work or software like in general. So that's what I meant by that. So but you can start this career, this field, do not without learning how to code, to be honest. Like I said, go to your LinkedIn profile, put yourself out there. You are a developer relation engineer and try to reach out, go to all these blogs and see how it's done. Look at Google, for instance, go to all this React, check their documentation, how do they do it. You see their code snippets, try it out on your own VS Code and see the way it works, see the way they transmit or deliver their content. So this is just it. You don't have to, I don't want to put you on so much pressure on or he's thinking, oh, you have to learn how to um, HTML, CSS, and the likes. No, your empathy enough, the passion you have to let people understand understand how a product works is enough. I feel like the empathy is what makes you even go extra mile to to test it yourself, to understand it yourself. Because if you don't understand or know how a developer thinks, I don't think it will be that easy for you to help him. If I want to help someone now, I want to help someone to understand how to drive. Can I do that if I cannot drive? It's vague. It looks so impossible. But then maybe I've been driving on PS4. Driving on PS4. I can still have a basic understanding of, okay, this is what the brake does. This is what the acceleration does. This is what the gears does or automatic. So that's just that. I don't know if I was able to answer your question properly.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Yeah, I do have another question. Like you talked about the networking part, and
Okay.
that is the most interesting part I really want to ask. Like when we see events or conferences, like we want to attend that conference or event, and is it the content at that conference is important than the networking part, and also not all also the networking part is very, I don't know, it's like a part that I don't really know how to network effectively, keep that relations, and use this as like use this also in the developer relation professional career. So can you like explain us a little bit more about that, and also how to network effectively to like keep like have a sustainable networking relationship with other developers, DevRel, and others in our career.
Okay. Okay, thank you for that. Like I said, okay, I'm not sure if I said that, but there'll be a class for networking itself. Today was just a kind of introductory to DevRel results. So we'll dwell more on the networking itself. But then networking is very important. Like it's very important because you get to see how things are done. Like no man like an highlight of yourself. So when you see these conferences, because this is what you'll be doing later on, you have to organize conferences for your company, like events for your company. You have to organize conferences. So when you see these events on LinkedIn, you join. Like conferences is being intentional about it. When you see someone, you can go on LinkedIn now and type and search for developer relations. LinkedIn will bring out hundreds, thousands of people working in that field, both junior and senior. So it's a way like you can reach out to someone and like, oh, good afternoon. My name is this. I'm a junior developer relation. I just read about your profile. I'm really impressed about what you've done so far. I wouldn't mind if you can give me tips on how to become a better developer relation. Like you can reach out to people, senior dev rails, and they will give you tips because now when internship opportunity comes out, when jobs comes out, and remember that there's this guy that even said is into this dev stuff. Let me reach out to him. Probably he may be interested to jump into this. So that's why it's very important. Most tech jobs right now is from recommendations because it's really hard to if you want to get a job directly and go through the interview process, it's difficult, unless you are limiting your reach. So, but then if you want to get all these big jobs, someone can just recommend you and oh, this guy is really committed. Is because of your constant engagement with this person or a community. Do you understand? So networking we'll still dwell more on that. So LinkedIn to me, is one of the best platforms for networking because the way the algorithm works. So when you start as little as liking, when you start liking posts on developer relations, LinkedIn understand that okay, this person is, is interested in learning more about this. When you start commenting, when you see comment about developer relation, and you're like, oh, this is really nice, it's so cool. Do you get? So LinkedIn helps you tweak the algorithm and start giving you more of this content. And gradually you're building a community. Before you know it, most of your LinkedIn followers or people that are connecting with you, they're in this field. It's good to have a community so you get firsthand what is happening or what can make you a better developer. Because now when you start creating communities, you can even LinkedIn helps you to create an event. I'm sure you have a LinkedIn account. Through your LinkedIn account, you can create an event and send it out to your followers or your connections. Do you understand? And when people see that this person has been the one commenting on posts, they've been seeing your name on posts, liking posts. So they'll be like, oh, I'd like to see what he has to say. So it gets more people to attend. As you are right now, you can just create a short conference within your friends, a small event about what you have learned so far in developer relations and people jump in and you talk about it and as small as it is, before you now start creating these tech companies, this high event where you invite developers. The main purpose of this conferences is when you start working the company and this company want to put a product out there. So one of the easiest ways is to create a physical conference or an online conference or what have you, or a blog. Do you get? So it makes it easier to communicate this product to your audience. So that's one of the importance of networking. or and the whole conference. I think you asked a question about the whole conference thing. I'm trying to remember what you actually said about the whole conference. Is it the importance or how you can join this conference? Right now, there are more of online conferences because of the whole, since COVID came in place. Most companies, people now jump into having content online. Before it used to be physical conferences. Now we still have physical conferences, mind you, but you see more of online conferences. Just join for half an hour and you are done or whatever. So when you join these conferences, you see now you know that when you see a conference on content creation and developer relation. Obviously, you know that everyone joining that conference is either a developer relation already or is trying to learn about it. So you are seeing people on your community, people that you want to engage with, because this is what you later be doing later on. Do you get? So conferences just gives you room for knowledge sharing. You get this. You are current with trends going on. You get first-hand information and what have you. So it's very important, to be honest. Conferences, networking generally. So when you create your own event, you get people to attend. Because there are people that I see some event that people that LinkedIn notify me about, like, I beg this one, I'm not interested in joining this guy's conference or this guy's event. So it's gradually you build credibility and trust, and people tend to, when they see your stuff, they acknowledge it. So I don't know if I've answered your question. If not, you can just come again with.
It's fine. It's fine.
So, but we still have a class on networking itself and how to use LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a platform that I've gotten most of my jobs on. LinkedIn is one of the best platforms because of how the algorithm works. The algorithms modify itself depend as the user uses the platform. If you are constantly liking something in UI UX, LinkedIn, we even tell you that you like to take a course on UI UX. That's because they see that you're always commenting or liking on UI UX. So the same way, if you're always liking content or contributing, talking, or even as small as awesome posts, this is so nice, this is absolutely true. Do you get? So it's create this algorithm that, okay, this person is interested in more of DevRel. Then you start having access to their courses and what have you. Yeah, thank you very much. So I don't know if there's any other question that we
Thank
might
you.
have to answer.
One more question, who is about the like transmitting or translating a complex idea to not tech audience or something like that. Is there a tool online or something, or are you talking about the Google Translate to translate something or that stuff?
Oh no, no. That I'm not referring to translator. That's basically like language, English to French. No, that's not what I'm referring to. I'm referring to like probably if I should write a program now and I write a documentation on how to use it, the way I would write it, to me, I feel like I've communicated, but am very sure I've done the opposite. So there are tools online. There is this right now we have tools like ChatGPT itself. ChatGPT as it is itself, people might not know how to use it, but ChatGPT itself, if you put a content in ChatGPT and you tell ChatGPT to translate the content to you for a 1-year-old, like there are certain prompts that they program into ChatGPT that you understand when you say something like, please give me this content for a 1-year-old. So it gives you at this barest minimum. Although sometimes it's not good to be, although sometimes it might not, when it's too low, it becomes vague as well. So there's this balance you are trying to achieve. So aside from this ChatGPT, there's so many tools. And you don't have to use a tool. You yourself, reading yourself, when you read many documents, when you read about them, you are bringing different ideas together. Then your brain will now, when you understand it yourself, when you have tested it, like I said, before you put it out there, you yourself know how it works. Then your brain helps you to, to make it easier to translate it for you by understanding it. It's like when you're in school, then when you're in school and the teacher start teaching you something, at first you don't understand it. Even if your friend asks you to come and explain, it's very difficult because you don't understand it. But the moment you understand it, automatically feel like you can use a different language. Like, oh, I can't even teach better than this man self. This man should have taught us like this. Do you get it? Because now you understand it. That is the way it works too. When you understand the concept, automatically the brain just have a way of transmitting it in a simpler form for others to understand. So when I refer to translating, you can it's by reading. So reading more than your brain helps you, or you can use tools. I'll probably add it to our outline, maybe tools that can help us to
Yeah.
to translate complex. So we can there'll be a lot of we'll do. I'm sure we'll have a class where we practicalize. We do a live session on creating content ourselves, how to use these tools. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, I will let Tony ask a question, and I think it's good enough to me today.
All right. Thank you. I think someone else is raising up their hand. So, and Johnny, you can go ahead and speak.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Diwali, so far. The class has been very good. I wanted to ask you about the job itself as a junior developer relations engineer. Is it something that can be done as freelance, or is it something that you have to one company? Because I'm thinking about data privacy and all. Because if you're in just one company working as a developer for that company, you'd have access to their info and you just have to basically work for them, right? Everything a developer has to do. But whereas on the other hand, if you're a freelancer, I can work for as many companies as I want, but I don't know how the trust and credibility would come in there if you work as a freelancer. So yeah, I wanted to know
Okay.
which one is better or which one is
Okay, if you're working as a freelancer, it's more like you're a content creator. So you get your, which is very good. You are really someone who is very passionate and you have so much empathy for people to grab a knowledge. But me, I'm looking at the whole, okay, getting paid for your service, of course. I wanted to get paid and just work for free. But it's good to have empathy. And so if you can start as a freelancer, have your own blog, and you're helping people to grab a knowledge better, but not really have a company yourself or working with someone. Just on your own, you have a blog, you have your content, you have your YouTube. There are people on YouTube where I can tell you, look, most many together. I follow them a lot. That they just help. They don't work with anybody, but they just transmit. They have to communicate better how to use certain products. Do you get? That's what they just do. So I'm sure right now, because as people see that your content are valid and they are true and they're original, so it gets people to subscribe to your channel or your blog, your YouTube channel, and over time, YouTube start paying you, obviously. But you know, or most times, even from doing that freelance, companies reach out to you for consultancy. Do you get? You can be a consultant for different companies. You don't have to really work for someone, but they only consult you whenever they want to release a new product. And they'll be like, oh, maybe Juni, want to, oh yeah, I just saw your message now, like something like building a portfolio. Yeah, you get what you've done, your blog, since you've engaged in how you have translated complex code into simpler form. So you get so through that companies might when they see how you have um, you have made products easy to grab, and they see people, you see that they see engagement on your platform. You get many companies start reaching out to you, like I bet you, and they're like, oh, whenever they want to release something, a new product, like, oh, please, we want to release this product now. I'd like you to be as our developer relation. Do you get? because they've seen what you can do. So from there, you get a lot of offers. I'm working like for 5 different companies as a consultant. So that's how that part was. Like I like the fact that you said building a portfolio. That is very important. Like this era of tech, everyone wants to see what you've done before. People want to see your content before. Want to see how you have written your content. Just don't forget that I said having a style, having a format, how your content are. Don't just be everywhere. Have the way you want your content to look like. So that is having a portfolio. Your portfolio speaks a lot about you. When they see where you have what you've done, you write and stuff like that, then obviously you start getting offers, or you get offers to be honest, and start applying to. Like I tell people, there are people that are working at a developer relation and they don't have what you have learned today. So right now you go to your job alert on LinkedIn, search for DevRel, both Nigeria and whichever country you want to work in, and start applying. Start applying. Go to Twitter, internship opportunities. Start putting yourself. But don't wait for maybe you're waiting for the end of these 6 weeks to put yourself out there. No, right now you can put yourself out there. I'm giving you the permission to put yourself out there and learn on the job and learn and yeah, you are good enough. So I don't know if I answered the question.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So I don't know if anyone has any question before we end the class.
No, I don't have any questions.
All right. Thank you so much for joining this class, and see next time we'll meet again. Thank you. If you have any question, you can just drop it on the group chat. Then I'll sure to answer them. So I wish you guys a very nice day and take care of
Thank you
yourself.
so much.
Yeah. Bye.